Patient advisory boards are extremely important to guide us all in daily clinical care, but also in research where we have to focus. Patients can shed a light on a number of things doctors do not see daily because they have the daily problems of using their medication, what symptoms bother them most, how they can stay compliant to the treatment. And in a continuous discussion with patient advisory boards, we can determine what are the most important aspects of the disease that have to be tackled in the near future.
The idea is to go out and sample patients' opinions so that patient advisory boards, where you get patients in a group, is one way. Another group is to do qualitative research by reaching out to the patients and interviewing them directly and asking them, what are your fears? What are your concerns? What would you like to see as a result of your sinus treatment? And that's where I think where we might end up with surprises is that one thing that's been seen already in studies from the UK is that patients would like to see the transition from their general practitioner to their specialist better managed. So for us as specialists, this is a point we hadn't really considered and that certainly we can address. And that by getting more from the patients, we can reach beyond the medical, once again into people's day-to-day lives and hopefully impact things that are as important to them as they're important to us. And again, just improve the patient buy-in to the disease. The feeling behind all this is the more the patients engage with the doctors and the management of the disease, the better we're going to end up with the results at the end. Certainly patients will be happier, the medicine will be less expensive, and we'll be able to cut down on the number of office visits. But on top of that, hopefully the entire patient satisfaction experience of being consulting for the disease will be better. We'll understand what questions we should be anticipating and be able to address these even when the patient doesn't ask you the question appropriately. And that I think that for the patients, they'll also have sources of information that extend beyond the doctor, from the internet, in apps, in different groups that they can work together, such as different user groups.
I think that's so incredibly important, and I think EUFOREA and the movement that Dr. Hellings is doing, it's incredibly helpful, and it's paradigm shifting, because as physicians in the United States, we often prescribe medications, we recommend surgery, and we do have a discussion with the patient. But having the patient more involved and having more empowerment to take charge of their own care, that's so important, because if they understand all the options and then they're more invested in the care, I think that their outcomes will be better too. And we can learn a lot from what the patient perspective is. That's something that's missing. And I think we are a bit behind in the US, and I think, you know, with EUFOREA, they've made great efforts to make advances, so we hope to learn from that experience.